Okay.
Okay, we're back on the record for cause number 621-988, 623-606, 634-753, State of Texas versus Charles Gaines. We had discussions off the record with the state, the defense, and the court with regard to Mr. Gaines' decision, whether he wanted to continue with the probation that's already been offered him or convert it to jail time. The state's recommendation was 120 days. And the defense requested 30 days. The court is going to follow the state's guidance, thinking 120 days is a gift based on the severity of these three cases and how much more severe they could have been. The court has informed Mr. Gaines and Mr. Froelich that in the event that Mr. Gaines goes on probation and decides he doesn't like it, or that he can't make it, or that he has some sort of other problems the court's unaware of, and he wants to convert it to jail time, the court would go along with the state's original recommendation of 120 days. We also made a call to my bailiff, Officer Contreras, who confirmed that his understanding is in the jail right now, the sheriff is giving credit of 2 for 1, and it could be 3 for 1, but he didn't know, but he was sure it was at least 2 for 1. Is that correct, Ms. Benavides? Pat, is that correct? 2 for 1?
Yes, it's correct. 2 for 1.
Okay. So at this time, Mr. Gaines, are you willing to go on probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, here's what's going to happen. First off, I'm going to recall right now you have 2 active warrants. I'm going to recall those. Anything bad I did to you on pretrial, scram, or GPS, or weekly report in UA, all those things I'm going to call back. You're just going to have to comply with the requirements of probation. You're going to be contacted by your probation officer within 48 hours of right now. I assume you got to leave your phone on so she can get you. If we can't contact you, that's going to be a big problem. And once they contact you, they'll coordinate what you need to do to just get your probation started. You're going to have to get a Smart Start mobile device and get signed up for these classes. And that's kind of where we're at. If at some point in the future you decide that you don't want to do probation, you can't do probation, there's some sort of problem I'm unaware of, get with your attorney, Mr. Froelich. He's the best lawyer in town. You got lucky on getting him. And I think you know that by now because he's spent lots of hours with you helping you on these cases. And I think he got 1 felony dismissed. Did you not, Mr. Froelich, on these cases?
Affirmative, Your Honor.
And there are 2 or 3 more that could have been filed that weren't for whatever reason. And he's got it rigged where the state's not going to file any more cases on you out of this. So that's a good thing for you too. So you'll get a call from a probation officer. You've got Mr. Froelich's number, our office number. If you can't get up with Mr. Froelich or you have some sort of major problem, call our office at County Court at Law Number 6. Do you have something to write on, Mr. Gaines?
No, Your Honor, I don't, but I have the number.
All right, well, it's 210-335-2156, and Mr. Froelich will have that for some future point if you have a problem. So, best of luck to you. Thank you for your military service. Don't drink, don't go into anybody else's house without permission, and don't mess with guns, and we're going to be fine. Fair enough?
Yes, Your Honor. One question.
Sure.
On the smart device?
Smart Start mobile device, yes, sir.
Okay, like what is that?
It's about the size of a cell phone. It's a hand-carried breath testing machine to make sure you're not drinking. And initially, you're going to have to blow into it 4 times a day. That's every 6 hours. So if you try to drink between that, we're going to catch you, and then you're going to be in trouble, and we don't want that to happen. So if you don't drink at all, we won't have that problem. And you're going to use that for 6 months, half the time frame of your probation. Your probation is a year on all these cases.
Okay, when do I have to get that by?
Within 10 days, probably.
So it'll be after the 2nd, because I don't get paid till the 2nd.
I understand. Just tell your probation officer that I said you got 10 days to get it, and we'll be fine. Are you not on anything right now? Did I ever order you on a Smart Start or a Scram or anything like that?
Judge, you did order that as a condition of pretrial. He was unable to get it because of the financial situation. So he ended up increasing his bond to get the warrant.
Within 10 days, you got to get it. Have to. Absolutely, positively, unequivocally, or you're going to be in violation of your probation. If you have a problem financially, everybody has a problem financially. This is the one thing you got to do. Okay, sir? And I want to check, Andrew, this as soon as I can with regard to what I can and can't probate on some of this stuff.
Yeah. If you want, I can email Brooke, kind of ask that particular question if that would be helpful.
Correct. All right.
One other thing, I know that this is highly unorthodox and a little bit odd. Is there a way that we could, on the judgments, the underlying sentence be, for example, 120 over 1 and 120, 120 over 1 year of probation to kind of cap the exposure, just in case? I know that we will all remember this conversation. However, if the judgment could reflect 120 over instead of 180 over.
Well, here's how that works. I, as the judge, have the authority to do that, but I don't ever do that because I want to keep a maximum size hammer over each one of my defendants' heads so they know what's coming if they violate probation. In Mr. Gaines' case, worst case scenario, if he violates probation and the state were to file a motion to revoke his probation on each of these 3 cases, and I were to grant that motion after evidence is received showing he had done something wrong, bad, or in violation, he would be eligible to have 6-month sentence, a 6-month sentence, and a 1-year sentence stacked. So he would serve a total of 2 years at my discretion. And I don't want to do that, and he doesn't want to do that, but he knows what's coming if there are any problems. So it's a great deterrent I have found in the last 30 years of doing this.
I understand.
Okay, but I've also said on the record, if he wants to transfer his probation into a jail sentence, at this point in time, I have no problem with capping it at the 120 days that the state recommended initially. But if there are any major violations involved, that is off the table.
Does that make sense, Mr. Gaines?
Yes, sir.
You can convert it pre any violations, but if there start to be violations, then that's the difference.
Okay.
You get the easiest job. You got the easiest job of any of it. Don't drink, don't mess with guns, and don't go on anybody else's property. And we're good. You're going to be a wonderful probationer. That's all you got to keep in mind.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck, sir. Thanks again for your military service.